What's the date today? August 12th, meeting of the ISWM Building Committee. I'll take a quick attendance. Greg, you out there?
Yes.
Tom, I don't see Tom out there, but he said he was not coming. Catherine? I know Catherine's there.
She's muted.
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah, you're muted. There you go.
Hi. Sorry.
That's all right.
Technical difficulties.
Ken, are you out there? No Ken. No Nolan. And Peter and myself are here.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we got you. Can you hear us all right?
Great. Okay.
Yep,
Thanks.
good.
Okay.
So we just got those minutes, I think.
Sent them out at noontime. My
Yeah,
apologies.
let's,
Motion to defer the minutes to the next meeting.
second. Favor?
Wow. Roll call.
Yes.
Catherine?
Yes.
Peters, yes. Sama, yes. And Greg?
Yes.
All right. So we'll look at those at the next meeting. New business. So we have one project invoice, Neil, it's just your invoice
Yep,
for $30,000?
yep. And again, as I said to you in the email, if you want to defer that to the next meeting, I'm fine with that. It went out late. It's just a periodic payment for the month.
All right. Does anybody have any questions on that at this point? We'll defer voting on that until the next meeting, but does anybody have any questions on it? Okay.
No, I actually haven't had time to look at it.
Okay.
So, no.
All right. Here, okay, well, we'll table that until the next meeting. OPM update.
Interface with Mass DOT is continuing. We're waiting on some information relative to site plans and grading plans and traffic plans related to the DOT permit application. And Greg is working with Sims Meany McKee, his site consultant, to develop those drawings. Greg, do you have anything to add on that?
Yes, I do. I will share the screen right now. And I will put up my Mass DOT. Does everybody see my letter or my memo?
Yes.
Right there, make it a little smaller, all right. So, as Neil had mentioned, we did reach out to Sims. Sims had worked with Chappelle Engineering Associates in the past, so we are using them as our traffic consultant since they are most knowledgeable about that. And basically, you know, I'd like to present kind of the schedule and the fee of how, and that's all documented in this memorandum, and I will obviously send it after the meeting to you. And so should you have any comments, I can incorporate them in there. But basically, it's a multi-step process. The first step in the process is actually getting a survey of Route 28. Capella has reached out to Mass DOT and National Grid to see if they have that information. Currently, Kristen has not gotten any feedback, and she's waiting on that. But if necessary, they can release their in-house surveyors to perform the work. Basically, what they need to do is identify where the gas connection is coming, the elevations, and the route that it is going to be taking. So that is kind of step one. Upon receipt of the survey, they will complete and submit the utility trench permit application, and this usually takes 10 days for Mass DOT to review it and approve it or accept it. Then, once it's kind of approved and ready to go, then we actually start kind of the design process. Now, National Grid will most likely make ISWM prepare the design for the jacking pits as well as the main gas design and for the directional boring. If that happens, again, there's CEA has the necessarily in-house personnel to do that. And as noted below, what will happen is they'll complete the design to about 25%, and then Mass DOT will take a review of the plan at the 25% completion to make sure that everything is moving in the direction they want. That usually takes about 20 business days. A part of that submission will be required borings. Upon receipt of any comments, then they will either allow them to go to 75 or 100%. And again, Mass DOT takes about 20 days to review that. Once everything's reviewed and approved and everything by Mass DOT, CEA will put the final plan specs together, put a bow on it, packet it all up, and get it over to Mass DOT for the formal approval, which is about 10 days. So here are the estimates on the fees and times associated with this. Now understand that some of these items can run concurrent. So there's the survey for the access permit and traffic control and everything. There will be the boring locations and then boring inclusive. And then there'll be the coordination drawings for the coordination with the bidirectional boring contract, coordination with the gas company, preparing the design and everything, and then finalizing the application and everything. There is a, preliminary estimate of $75,000 for these services, and CEA says they will usually, take 2 to 4 months. She did say that they are turning the permits around a little faster and doing the reviews a little faster, so it may be closer to the 2 months, but just to be conservative, we are telling you that it could be up to 4 months. And again, the critical first process in doing any of this is obtaining the site survey, topographic survey, getting the borings and everything, so that that plan can be put together. So it's not just simply putting an application together. It's a matter of finding the route. And if anybody has that information, a survey of that, that would be great. But like I said, right now we're not holding our breath on that. So that's essentially where we are on that. They are, CEA is moving on that. And I'm assuming, Asa, that we are approved to proceed with this as a reimbursable. And I know there's not a quorum today, so you may not be able to vote on it. But we are going to continue to proceed on this with the understanding that this will be approved as a reimbursable expense. Is that a fair assumption?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see that letter first. It's the first time I've laid eyes on that, and I want to read through that first and just see what, kind of just digest it a little bit.
Absolutely.
So who does this survey? CEA does the survey?
Well, so if National Grid or the Mass DOT have an up-to-date survey of the area, so we're talking about that area along 28.
Yeah.
So it'd be on the other side of on the other side of 28, where the gas connection would come in. From there, then they would survey the route that it's going down, and then they would also be taking borings of that. And they need elevations and everything, because, for example, and I'm just hypothetically saying, don't know if this is true or not, but let's say that the opposite side of the road is 8 feet higher than your side of the road. To just sit there and say, hey, we want to bore down, 4 feet to put the crossing, which means that they could pop out on the other side. So that's why they have to figure out the elevations and everything to make this boring. They're anticipating that there will probably be a sleeve put in there, potentially up to an 8-inch sleeve under the highway with the directional boring. But again, those are details that will be worked out with National Grid. But right now, we're trying to find the survey, or I will just release CEA once they get a final confirmation that there are no plans or they're not up to date. So the You said something, Brian?
No,
Oh, okay. You just popped up. That's why I wasn't sure. So,
no, I think my phone moved and made a noise.
okay.
Greg, Yanchenko, is in parallel to this though, I think we just, where are we at with the load letters? Because I think in order.
I have that. We'll get into that on the agenda items.
Okay, because I
I'll be happy to pull
feel
those
like
up.
we need that in order to start the discussions with the utility companies.
Okay, so we need a survey, basically, and that is included in that cost estimate? you're telling me?
Yeah, right now, they're estimating the survey, where was that survey? The survey is at $25,000.
Okay.
And that's just an estimate, it could come in lower. I just told, CEA to be, realistic on the numbers, and, because we don't know whether we're going to have to survey, a couple of yards of, 28, or whether we're gonna have to survey a quarter of a mile. of
That
28.
was my next question. Hey, Marlene, for the fire station, was there ever a survey, did the survey reach out that far at all, down to 28?
No, we just did property lines.
Okay, all right. All right, I'm trying to think if we had, looking at Phil right now, if we had any survey. I know we did survey up near the turnaround, but I don't think we've ever done anything down that far towards like the old go-kart track there.
And Ace, I think the critical thing is to first find out exactly where the gas line ends or passes. Because clearly if it passes right by your site, then we're basically just going across the highway. However, if it's up at that turnaround where we had anticipated it was going to be, that means we're probably a quarter mile up the road.
No, it runs all the way down the boulevard. It's literally right on the other side of the boulevard. It's on the west side of the boulevard.
Okay, then that shouldn't be a problem. That's one of the coordinations that CEA is trying to figure out with National Grid and everything. So she is proceeding with that. I will continue to push her on that. And but she is tracking down the survey information from them.
Okay.
So that should hopefully expedite the survey and everything, because we probably will only have to do 100-yard wide width or something like that to get that survey across.
Is that survey gonna include the old paper highway?
That's just, when you call it a paper highway, all it is just a highway layout. It's just a wide highway layout. There's no, it's just a,
I call it whatever.
yeah,
It's the old 62 layout.
yeah.
the
No,
ones
that's
between us
just
and
the whole lot, that's just the whole layout. It's just a tree buffer between the
So
road.
the line is intended, we're gonna go through that, underneath that, all the way across the street to the building. Okay.
All right, yeah, if you could distribute that, if you would, distribute it to everybody. Actually, Neil, if you could distribute that just to
Will
the
do.
committee, and we'll all
I get it.
take it in, and I'm sure we'll move forward with it. We have to. One point, just as we move forward, we may want to oversize that gas line for any future development of the site. Possibly, any kind of technology we may find room for out there, so, or any kind of gas supplementing to our landfill gas. So just something to think about as we move forward. Obviously, it's, not pressing right now, but just jot that down.
So if that is the case, I mean, obviously I'll show you the gas loads in a minute and everything, but then do we want to project gas loads? Because right now, CEA and HTA are guesstimating that this crossing and everything might be $250,000.
Okay, well, that's what we need to know.
Yeah, and so the fact is, we can bring enough gas in for the building, but if you're thinking, and I know that the transfer station won't be using gas, but you know what I'm getting at, that if you think, hey, we will develop this in another way as well, do we double the size of the gas like you're suggesting, or do we put up, 30% more? That's something we can discuss in more detail, but that is something to consider, and I think you brought up a good point there, so thank you.
Yep, okay, so send that out, we'll take a look at it, and we'll certainly make a decision on it at the next meeting.
Yeah, okay, and then Asa, just for your information in the committees, and everything I'm showing you today, I will put together in a package and get that right out after the meeting.
That would be great.
So.
That's the first time we laid eyes on that thing. All right.
So Neil, are we going to just continue down the agenda items?
Yep,
Okay, can you see the agenda up now?
yes. Prequel.
Okay. So on prequel, so I sent out the prequel for the committee's review. We received no comments, and I've been authorized to release the prequel. The advertisement has gone into the central register. ASA worked with the town to get it into the local newspaper and commise. So that will be released tomorrow at 10 o'clock, and the proposals are due on 9/11.
So it is a full month, okay.
Yeah, we've got that in combis. I talked to Kathleen. It'll be in tomorrow, or today or tomorrow. And then we've got the local newspaper for 4 weeks. So starting this Friday, next 4 Fridays, so.
Okay.
I know that's probably a little excessive, but I didn't know.
That's fine. No, that's good.
All right.
Okay, that's fine. One thing I will say, Asa, if the current track record is going like it is, Big Docs has been handling several of these pre-quals over the last month or so. Neil knows we just took the pre-quals on the Rentham DPW. We had 17 general contractors submit and 126 subcontractors submit in the various trades, and we had a very good representation in all of the trades of at least 6 to 7 contractors, some up to 14 contractors in the various trades. Based on what I'm hearing out on the street these days, there are no large projects out, so I would anticipate that we will probably get a comparable response from the various contractors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boy, that bodes
All
well.
right, moving on to the,
What's that? Hold on, Peter had something? What's that?
No, I'm just saying, if it's that many people bidding it, hopefully that means competitive pricing.
Yeah.
So hopefully it will be to the town's benefit.
Okay. All right, and there's a couple of us that have to commit to reviewing, a couple members of the committee, right? So I'll certainly be one of those members. If somebody else on the committee wants to be the other victim.
Sure.
so Asa, what I would, you don't have to decide now. We don't have to decide until the 11th on the makeup of the committee. You may want to divvy it up. Like, let's say you really have a passion to do the general contractors and the plumbing subcontractors. You might take that, and, Phil might take that, and Greg might really want to deal with the painters and the tile. You can divvy it up, and we can set it up in the system so that everybody can participate, and you may just want to break it up that way so that no individual has to review all like 140 proposals. Neil and I will do that, but as a committee member, since you're volunteers and everything, you may be able to split it up where everybody only has to do 20, and that might move it along. The other thing too is the system will provide a suggested score for each proposal. You can either concur or change the score, it's up to you. And then there's just 3 little buttons you have to click to make sure they have a certificate of eligibility, their update statement, and their financials, and you go click, click, click. So it could take a matter of hours, it could take a matter of weeks, depending on how you want to participate on it.
Okay. All right, well, we'll see what we get.
Okay.
Very good.
Asa, can I just go back to the authorization? I might recommend that we consider releasing the surveyor, just the surveyor at this point in time, only to expedite the field gathering of the information and receipt of the material so that we can move forward with the design. Just a suggestion. I realize that the provision of the material was today and the price is today, but we're also staring at a November bid date, and it would be nice if we had this information done before bidding. I appreciate it. I know it's a sensitive area of discussion, but I think it's worth considering. And if you don't want to do it, then I'm on board. I just want to throw it out there. And that's for the committee as well, not
No,
to
that's
put it
what
on your
I'm
shoulders as
I'm
well.
waiting to hear a little bit of feedback from Peter, Greg, and Catherine.
So, I got just a quick question. The survey that they're asking for is the actual area of the highway, right?
Where it's going to cross.
That's correct.
So, have we confirmed they don't have any existing surveys they could provide us? I mean, they did all that survey work for the bridge work. I don't know how far they came down.
Oh, they definitely came down that far, there's no doubt about it.
That was exactly my question. Yep, exactly my question. Sorry for jumping in. I totally agree with you, Greg.
So, Greg, like I said, I will talk to Kristen again tomorrow to see if she's had any success. This is coming out of District 5. I've done work at District 5. I may be able to reach out to Mary Jo, who's the director of District 5, to see if she has those surveys, or I can talk to Brandon or something. So I will send you an email at the end of the week on the status, if we can do that. But there are some still options, so we haven't exhausted it. We just want to.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody in the town or the DPW or Marlene has, contact with them either. Might be worth checking.
Can somebody please send me a plan outlining the limit of work that you're looking for survey for?
Okay, we will do that. You think it can, something that we might have available to us in some means?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do that. Let's hold on
That's fine.
doing the authorizing the survey, and then let's do a little more digging first before we pull the trigger on $25,000 of survey work. So,
Okay.
Everybody all right with that?
Yeah, the only thing
Yes.
I would, assume if something is available, that will satisfy that requirement. I know surveyors, if they have to do work with something, then it usually needs to be their work, but
Yeah, right.
suspect for this activity, that would suffice. So maybe, I don't know, Greg, if you can check with your consultant to see if we do have it, is that gonna work for them?
Oh, yeah, as long as it's a stamp survey, they don't care where it's coming from.
Quick question, going back to that. Do we have to get a permit to do the borings? Like an access permit for borings?
I don't think we need to get the access permit provided, but I did not ask that question. All I was told is that they need to take borings, so
Yeah,
we
because
will coordinate that.
it seems as though, that itself is work in the right of way, so,
Yes.
yeah, okay. All right, let's hold on the survey part, and we will see what we can dig up, and then we will be ready to pull the trigger next meeting, for sure.
Okay.
One way or
And the
another.
next item, should we move to the next item, Asa?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is Division 01 in the general conditions. So I did send that off to the town, and I know that Asa forwarded that. My understanding is legal counsel is still reviewing it. I have not seen any feedback yet.
That is correct. Council's been out for, I believe, out of town for a couple weeks. Marlene, is she back this coming week?
I got an email from her today, so
Okay.
I think if you reach out to her, she's responding.
Okay, all right. We will,
Marlene, do you know if that's KPF that's doing your work for town council?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
May I ask you who the town council is? And that isn't KPF, is it?
It's not KP Law, no.
Okay, KP Law, excuse me, yes.
It's Harrington and Heath.
Okay. So the only reason I'm saying that is because I know that KP Law has reviewed a couple of the front ends and had their comments, so they're turning those around pretty fast. But we will coordinate that and wait for the feedback then.
all right.
Okay. And just a note of information for the committee. Greg and his consultants have provided an interim grading plan, which is the elevation at which we will prepare the subgrade and turn it over to the general contractor for the project. And the placement of fill required to achieve those elevations has begun. Acer and his crew from the landfill are excavating on-site material, and the geotech of record is on site to review its placement and compaction in lifts. And that work started today, this morning, and is expected to continue over the next 6 or 8 weeks.
So Asa, one of the items that has come up is, I know that we made arrangements to get the geotech out there today, and I've also called for Thursday. If you're okay with it, you are welcome to reach out to Jenny directly and schedule it on an as-needed basis. I mean, I will be happy to be the middleman, but again, typically what we would do is have the site contractor work directly with GCI, because if something changes or if you need to cancel quickly or something like that, it gives you the most flexibility. Are you okay with that, or do you still want to go through me?
I will work through Neil on that, just because Neil is sending his folks down as well. So, you know,
Okay.
that's, you know, if I go directly to GCI, it'll be, you know, somebody will be left out of the mix eventually. So,
Okay.
I'll just coordinate that with Neil. And because there's gonna be starts and stops depending on my staff, so gonna try to kind of keep some sort of regular schedule now that we've started it, but we'll see how it goes.
So you're okay with coordinating directly with GCI?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, we'll take it over.
Lisa?
Yes, Marlene?
I'm sorry, I can't find my hand. For the geotech, can you please confirm that we are doing a liquefaction analysis?
We can. We don't have any groundwater to deal with here, though.
For seismic reasons, is this going to be required for our foundation design under the seismic code?
Geotech give us an opinion.
Okay.
That's fine. Yep.
Yeah, Neil said GCI can give us an opinion on that.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, we do those with each cell, like our landfill cells as well, so those can get a little interesting.
The true answer is that may have already been done in the geotech report,
Okay.
which was a result, which was developed after the borings were done a couple of months ago.
Right.
The liquefaction may already be in there. I'm not sure this work would require a liquefaction, but we'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right, Neil, if you'd like me to, I can then move into the design update and go through all of these items.
Yep, please.
All right. So, the team is working, we've been meeting with the team, coordinating items. I know that on Friday, we'll be working with ISWM to go over the questionnaire. And so, what that is we had sent out a series of questions to follow up on what is required for the building and some, technical issues. So we've got the preliminary back, and like I said, we will have a meeting on 8:15 at 1 o'clock to go over that. And that invite has already been sent out.
Yep, that'll be with Barnstable County IT for some of their coordination as well.
Great. So the DD submission will be forwarded to the committee on 9/10 per the work schedule, and then, we will continue to proceed with that. Asa had asked me to prepare some presentation boards for the outreach. I'm going to pull those up now. Can everybody see those? Great. All right. So Asa, I had basically put everything that you had requested. It says ISWM office and garage facility, $25 million funded by ISWM facility operations, no tax effect. Funding request at fall special town meeting. Construction begins early 2026. The only thing I left off is, because I wasn't sure where to put it in and make it look decent, is the size of the building. I'm not sure that matters, but if you feel strongly, I can add that somewhere. But this is the site plan. Again, this is the project that we're dealing with. This just kind of basically shows a general overview of the entire site. This is the floor plan. You'll see there's a scale and everything. Basically does the layout with the room names. We've cleared off all the grid lines and everything for that. Then this is the front elevation. We thought the perspective angle was a little more attractive than just the flat on elevation, but again, we can modify that if we select it to. And then this was the rear of the building. Do these boards look adequate for what you need them for, Asa?
Yeah, I mean, those are all the renderings I want. I just can't, I can't read the text. What? If you could zoom in down, on the
Oh,
lower.
yeah, I can do it. Can you read it better now? It says ISWM office and garage facility, $25 million, funded by ISWM facility operations, no tax effect. Funding request at fall special town meeting, construction begins early 2026. And then obviously there's the town logo and our name there.
Anybody have any comments?
Yeah, you don't have to give any more than that, because when you start going before the finance committee, the select board, and doing town meeting prep, all that information will come out then.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to keep it simple.
To your point, Peter, the next item, hearing dates are the 20th for ZBA and the 28th for the planning board.
Okay.
I like those. Do we need to take a vote on that to set those up?
Motion
Print
to,
them?
motion to approve the message board's informations as submitted.
Second, Greg,
Yes,
Catherine,
Yes.
is Ken out there? Did Ken come in?
I am out. I've been here for a while. I was a few minutes late. I apologize.
Okay, how you doing, Ken?
Good. Yes would be my vote.
Okay, I'm a yes, and Peter's
Yes.
a yes. Okay, so we're gonna run those.
Okay, I'll send the quantities that you asked for, and I'll just have those, where do you want me to ship them, to your office or bring them next time? Meaning you tell me.
If you could, let's see. If you want to send them to my office, that would be fine. That'd be good.
I can send them to your office.
Yeah, send it. Well, if you're sending a UPS at 201 MacArthur Boulevard, if it's
Okay.
if it's UPS, go to 201 MacArthur Boulevard.
Okay,
And it's my intention to put, and let me know if this is all right. I mean, I want to put one in the community building here, or a couple in the community building, a couple in Dorothy's, a couple in Town Hall,
Library.
and the library. I think those were the four spots that I wanted to. So.
Then bring that to town meeting. One set.
And then town meeting, yeah. So we'll have to get that approved as well. Yeah, when the time comes.
Cool.
What's that?
Talk to the moderator, just
Yeah.
confirm.
Right. Okay, great.
all right, so, Neil, I think you already hit the issue about the interim plan. We had sent that off on 8/7, and we've already gone over all of that. Next item is the roads. No, that's the interim.
Project estimate?
Yep, and I'll get to the estimate too, but just to go quickly through the gas loads and everything, we're looking at about 1,750,000 BTUH for this, with a water column of 7 inches. And if it's the, if elevated gas pressure is available, we can drop it down to 2, Chris is like 2 PSI, then we can reduce the size of the piping, but this is currently what we're working on. These are the preliminary electric loads that they are going to run another calculation based on this after we finalize all the equipment selection. But we're looking at 208 volt, 3-phase, 1,000 amp service. Any questions on this?
Do we know if we can come off of that southern property?
Normally, it's the utility company that says where the most economical service location is to tap.
Yeah, I'd really like to know that sooner than later. I guess now that we have all this information, it'd be great if we could come off of there. If the other option is you know, I don't know what it is, 2,000 or 3,000 feet of underground.
Bank, yeah.
You know, that's gonna be huge money, so, okay.
Okay?
So-
I'll pull up the estimate in 1 second, Asa.
Okay.
Greg, do you remember, does the electrical engineer of record have to sign off on the Eversource application for the power, or is it just the town with the load
It's just
letter
the town.
attached?
It's
Okay,
the town that will sign off on it, because they're the applicant.
yeah, okay. All right, we should start to put that together.
Yep.
Can you make
All
that,
right,
can that be made wider? It's hard to read. The spreadsheet, I couldn't read it at all, but
Greg, can you put
yeah, I
the,
mean, you may be able to see it a little, let me pull that back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of information, and yes, I can, blow it up to make you, that's,
While you're looking for that, Greg, I just wanted to follow back up. I checked the GCI report and they did check for seismic, and they said that based on the borings and the provisions of the code, the soils of the site are not considered susceptible to liquefaction.
thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, it's Greg, I got a question on the electrical load.
Yes,
So you guys are going through that survey on Friday? There was a lot of questions on that relating to electrical items. Will this possibly get updated once that is done?
absolutely.
Because my first impression was it seems, I don't know what you guys have typically been doing in buildings like this, but that seemed a little low to me.
So most of the DPWs that we're doing right now can come in at like the 800 amp service. The infrastructure for the 1,000 amp service is really a 1,200 amp service. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
not
perfect.
pumped up.
Yeah,
So
okay.
it's just a
That's
matter
exactly what I
of,
was thinking, it would be more
Yeah.
around 12, so, the grid might help give us 1,000 when they're done with it, but, all right, that's fine.
so, but if we do have to switch out to 1,200, all it would mean is we'd add another door to the electric room, and then they would just specify different components in the switchgear and everything. It's the cabinet
Yeah.
itself is pretty
I
much.
think you already were showing two means of egress there, weren't you?
Yeah, we do, we have.
We do, yeah, that's generally our first rule of thumb on that, so. All right, any other questions on the loads at this time?
Now, could you distribute that as well?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, Asa, everything that I'm showing you now, I'm gonna put it as one big PDF, package
Okay.
it together, and I will ship it off to everybody. They'll have the agenda, they'll have each of the line items, I'll put them in order of the agenda.
we'll send it
So
over.
they may seem strange, but at least that will give you something to use as a reference.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, so next issue is, let's talk about the estimate. All right. I will go through all the gory details as you want, but right now I'm going to just enlarge this so everybody can see it. Make it slightly smaller. Can everybody see that okay now?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the conceptual cost estimate, 812. We come up with a grand total of 18.6 million. We're anticipating a 3% profit. That's what you'll hear people say, 5, 10. All the contractors I'm talking to now are around 3%. So we have a total of $19.2 million. I'm assuming the building permit will be waived, the bond at 288 for a grand total of 19.5. Right now, I'm carrying a 5% contingency, and we can obviously discuss that if people want to carry more. I think the site's pretty clean. I think you've done a lot of the work, Asa. So really, the risk is in the building and not so much in the ground and soil conditions, which is a first for us in a long time. This would give you a grand total of about $20.5 million for the structure. If I start to add in all the soft costs, my fee, Neil's fee, this is a WAG right now at 350,000. We're anticipating about 250,000 for the gas, probably 100,000 for electric. That number obviously can be refined as necessary. The geotechnical services, right now, I'm really just pulling this off of what you're doing with GCI and what has already been done. I think they've already spent about 9,000, 10,000 of that to get the report and everything and do the borings. And I just carried another 15,000 for that. Because we are assuming that you're going to build to the interim plan, we are going to present that as the existing conditions. So we're anticipating no survey fees will be required for that. Some of these subsequent numbers I just pulled off of CMS's budget. Testing fees at 100,000. I don't know what that will include or not. Neil, I think it's fair to say, aren't we ending up closer to like 65,000 at the end of the day on a similar size project?
It all depends on the scope, Greg.
Yep, understand. Again, the commissioning number came from CMS budget. Moving and relocation at 30,000. Miscellaneous project expenses, any legal fees. Printing probably will not be that high, but again, we carry that. And then again, Neil had carried 450,000 for IT equipment, and I won't be surprised if we hit it because it always changes midstream after construction's done. And then the FF&E. Now, Neil, the 488, I assume that that's including the lifts, or is that only including desks and chairs?
Greg, I have to go back and look and see what was included. I have it itemized, I just don't have it open in front of me.
No, that's fair enough, no problem.
Yep.
So as you can see, we're about 20.5 at hard cost. We're about 4 million at soft cost. So we're at about $24.5 million is what I see right now. I can then go through each line item, but I'm sure you guys will peruse it at your own leisure. We did go through, mark all of the categories, did the quantities, the anticipated labor, and I'm going to scroll through this quickly because you'll want to see the summary at this point. And I will make it larger so everybody can see it. All right. So again, all of these numbers should look familiar. We just reviewed those. So the numbers that will be new to you are these numbers. So we're about 25,000 square feet on the main building. The mezzanine is about 5,700. So we have about 30,000 square feet. Taken by the number, we're coming in about 640 a square foot. That's a little lower than what we've seen in the past. We feel confident in this number at this point in time, seeing what the bids and everything are coming in. I will give you, more information because before these bids, this project will go out, we will have open Grantham DPW, which is a comparable size, slightly different site and everything. But that will be another check to see how we're doing on the budget and estimate. One of the things I would say is I believe we're to the point that everything that's in the building is a need, not a want. And so, it is going to be what it's going to be. I guess that's what I'm going to say on that. Because I don't think there's any fact or anything that we put in on the budget that you haven't already stripped out. I mean, would you agree that these are needs, not wants at this point?
Yeah, I would say so. We haven't put anything too extravagant in there, So I think it's mostly just usable usable space. So I'm happy with it. I would certainly like to hear from everybody else.
I'm fine with it.
So as you can see, this gives you the basic breakdown by division and what percentage they're running on this for the grand total and everything. And then here's the breakdown on the filed subbids. So again, I'll be happy to go over any particular line item. I will include this in the package. So if you want to peruse each of the line items accordingly, I welcome any input that you may have on that. Neil, I don't know if you're going to be doing a independent estimate, a DD or CD package.
I have not been requested to do it as of yet, Greg, no.
Okay, just want to confirm, thank you.
Yep.
Asa?
Yeah.
So Greg, in your IT,
Greg?
this is Phil, Town of Bourne.
Greg,
The
okay,
IT,
so-
what do you mean by IT
Someone's got their hand up
equipment?
in the upper left corner, I just can't see who it
Okay,
is.
yeah.
I'm
Servers,
sorry, Marlene, go ahead, I didn't see you.
servers, networks, phones, computers, peripheral devices.
So that we may have to pull apart a little bit.
Yeah, we gotta, I think Friday we'll dig into that
Yeah.
a little bit, get into the nuts and bolts of that stuff.
The
So,
other question I had was, the total price you just quoted, 24 something million, right? That is the total project with what we've already appropriated one town meeting. So that minus the total will be what we asked for at the current.
Correct.
Upcoming town meeting.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
yeah, 24.5 minus, I think, 1.9 is what we've already appropriated for the A&E soft costs up to, for
That
Greg
is
and
what
Neil.
We asked for.
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah. Yes, Marlene?
So my question is about the independent estimators, and I do think that the committee should send this out for independent estimating.
Good enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think there should be a conversation if that's a schematic,
That's was my
at what
next
point
question.
you're doing that.
Well, we're beyond schematic, right? So,
Right, DD package comes out when?
another couple weeks, right?
On the 10th, the 11th.
3 weeks? So we could send that package out for an independent estimate?
Yeah,
Okay. Everybody
I'm fine
all
with
right
it.
with that? Catherine? Ken? Greg?
Yeah, Ken, I like the idea of getting an independent, yeah, I think it'll give us more credibility at town meeting.
Sure.
I just find that.
Are we asking Neil then to solicit estimates from independents, then we'll pick one?
I believe we are.
You're all set with a table for town meeting and the display.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great.
Yes, you're all set.
We've already got our table approved for town meeting. Yes, so Neil, if you would.
Yep.
That would be great.
Neil, one question I've asked them, if they, what's been their most recent public project on the Cape? It'd be nice to see, again, my experience is, numbers on the side of our side of the bridge are higher than the other side.
yep,
And then depending on where, again, luckily materials on this one, site work, are mostly there. But that's usually a big factor in cost estimates on the side of the bridge. But having a consultant that's, got something under his belt in the last, couple of years would be helpful.
sure. Can do that.
What is generally the lead time on putting those together?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. So Marlene, I would have to write up our funding requests based on this estimate. And it sounds like we would have that estimate right before town meeting if we waited until,
Yeah, I would say first week of October. By the time we get the estimate, we look at it, they look at it, we sit down, we reconcile. I would say first to second week in October before everything would be completed and
and is that enough time to adjust if we need to adjust?
Well, I have to.
Depends on if there's a delta, how big it is, but I think that as long as, if we have, I think you need an independent cost estimate, so you're gonna have to base your ask on what you've got right now from developed internally. And then if there is a large delta, then the finance committee and capital outlay and select board will all have to reevaluate it.
Okay. Can we start this process sooner than early September?
we can start the process as soon as we can get a DD submittal from Greg, which he said was scheduled to come out the 10th, I think,
Friday 11th.
11th, sorry.
Just took a day away from him.
So Asa, even if you release Neil tonight, which you just, Neil's probably gonna need a week or so to get the proposals and pull that together. So we're gonna be at the end of the month anyways, then, we will be able to get more of the specs in and everything else, so the estimator can look at that, get a little further along on the documents, and, I think that should put you in good standing, because like Neil said, at, early October, you would have that. And as I also said, we would be getting the bids in on Rentham, so that we can compare those. Because if Rentham comes in good, even if we put in a bridge factor, I don't know what that number is, 5%, 10%. Greg, you might have some input on that. But what I'm getting at is, let's say Rentham comes in at 18 million, and you want to put a 10% factor on it. I think that might be a good check on all around, so that when you do go to town meeting, you have our estimate, an independent estimate, and you have a most current estimate of a comparable size project in the comparable area.
Okay. Sounds good. Whatever we can do to expedite that would be helpful. Buy us as much room as possible.
Right.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then, Asa, that is everything that I have at this time. I'll be happy to address any questions.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Comments, concerns?
Hi, this is Catherine. I didn't raise my hand. Can I jump in?
Yeah, jump in.
Please.
Nice. I wanted to say to the group, I feel bad that we've postponed so many different items for votes. And just, I'll speak for myself with my work schedule. If there's any way I could get that information a little bit earlier, and I know we talked about it, it would help me process it and be able to contribute a little bit more, so.
I was gonna bring up the exact same thing. I think getting the information the day of the meeting is just difficult. 2 days before the meeting would be ideal. If not, anything you can do, right after the meeting.
Yeah, I mean, my feeling is, we have the standing meeting now on Tuesdays. Let's try to have everything by that Friday squared away that way.
That would be great.
Yeah, that would be good.
So then, if we do that, Asa, because we're going on a 2-week turnaround, that basically gives us like 7 business days to keep turning this information around, which is going to be very difficult to keep that pace up, because we just won't be able to do. So if we want to push these out to a 3-week window, that's fine. But I mean, to turn around this amount of information in 7 business days, I think, Greg, you can speak to it as well.
Yeah, I think getting like the minutes from the meeting is an important item. Getting the agenda and anything we can get. I do agree with Craig that, timing, it's a little short period. But, just having the minutes or the agenda and whatever you can send on that Friday, and then, getting 2 extra days of work, or even if stuff's being done on the weekend, I get that. But, just like today, there wasn't, having some of that information, we could have voted on the minutes, we probably could have paid the bill. So I agree with Asa, let's do Friday with what you can deliver, and then supplement it the day, as soon as you can.
Is there a need for me to redistribute the information for today's meeting next week, before the next meeting? Or is everybody okay with what went out today?
Yeah, I'm fine with it, we have it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's already, I have it, so.
I think the only thing that went out today that we need to vote on is the
invoice.
invoice and the minutes, right?
Yeah.
So,
So we'll do those next meeting.
okay. All right, so if any other comments, questions? I have a revised video. I think we'd like to do one more outreach video that has some of the renderings. We saw this, I think, 2 meetings, about a month ago. And I'll play it again. We've revised it a little bit, finished it off. And just let me know your thoughts. I'd like to get this out here with those poster boards reasonably quick, but let me just pull this up. and hopefully everybody can see it. Can everybody see the Windows Media Player here?
Should be okay. It's on the screen behind you.
As ISWM begins to prepare for its upcoming landfill expansion, major infrastructure needs to be relocated and rebuilt. The first step in this process is to construct a new office and maintenance garage on the new 12-acre parcel directly south of the residential recycling center. The new office will provide the needed space for administrative staff functions, while the garage will provide updated, safe, and useful space and equipment needed to support and maintain ongoing operations and provide much-needed storage. The ISWM Building Committee, with the help of ISWM staff, Helene Carl Architects, and Construction Monitoring Services have been tasked with overseeing this building's function, design, and construction. The building is proposed to have a useful life of 50 years, providing useful town infrastructure far past the life of the landfill. And as ISWM is an enterprise fund, this project will be funded entirely through revenue generated by facility operations. The new office and maintenance garage will be a steel frame building with insulated metal panel and masonry siding and metal roofing. It's designed to be simple and efficient with simplified roof lines, keeping the building looking aesthetically pleasing, while still being cost efficient and built for utility. The proposed building has a footprint of 25,000 square feet and consists of office space, employee facilities, a maintenance garage, and vehicle and material storage. There will be public access on the west side of the building via parking area that includes 36 parking spaces, including 2 handicap spaces. The paved area on the east side of the building will be primarily for use by the employees for vehicle storage and maintenance. A new fuel island for gasoline and diesel will be constructed as part of this project. This will provide fuel for ISWM vehicles and machines, as well as Department of Public Works and emergency response vehicles located on this side of the bridge. Considerable green space has been maintained around the building to provide area for low-impact design of stormwater management, including multiple bioretention basins designed to remove nutrients from stormwater runoff. More information can be found at the ISWM department and ISWM Building Committee website, or by reaching out to the ISWM staff.
Any thoughts, comments?
Awesome.
Tried to slow it down a little bit per everybody's request, so we didn't get, motion sickness.
No,
The
very,
audio was a little choppy for me, but I think it might just be the transmission. I assume it wasn't choppy for those of you in the room.
It is, they had to slow it down because of the frame rate. It gets a little bit jumpy there in a couple spots. But, yeah, it may have been just the connection, but it does get a tiny bit jumpy in a couple areas.
I loved it.
yeah.
Everyone's gonna love it. It, seriously, posting that, it's so informative. Great job.
Good. All right.
Who's lucky extension 4?
What's that?
Who's the lucky extension 4?
That's the whole part.
Oh, yeah, that's it's Phil's office. No, it's the whole department, yeah. Yeah. All right, well, we'll put that on the YouTube channel, and we'll put a press release out and get that out there.
Hey, Asa,
Yeah,
can you send a link to Maria so we can put it on the homepage?
sure,
Thanks.
sure.
In watching that video, it was great. It showed the fueling station, the fueling island on the side. Are those tanks gonna be exposed like that? Those round tanks? Because the one down the street here at the old police station's is boxed in, so no one can hit it. In the fire stations, and the DPW's the same way. It's boxed in.
It'll have bollards around it, like I think DPW has the guardrail around it. It'll have protective barriers around it.
Both guardrails and bollards, typically.
It's one of those sure, 'cause you have heavy equipment, and if you lose control of one of the vehicles, one of the apparatus, and you hit it, I don't want to see any pollution if it's not contained.
Agreed. So, all right. Anybody, anything else I think that's the end of our agenda.
So Asa, when's the next job meeting or the next committee meeting?
The 2 weeks from today,
26th.
26th, it'll be, actually, we were talking about having some samples for that meeting, right?
The idea was you wanted to go over the interior samples,
Right.
so that would mean we'd be meeting in person, which is fine. I just wanted to make sure everybody's good with that.
Yeah, that'd be, so we'll do the same thing. We'll do a Zoom option. We'd like to try to get everybody here as much as possible just to get our hands on stuff. It won't be in this room. It'll be in the room next door. It's a little tighter over there, but we should be all right. I think this room is booked already, so. But it's in the community building just next door, in the room next door. So, 3:30, 26.
We could always meet on the top of the mound there so we get proper sunlight and a better visual of how it'll integrate to the whole site.
Yeah, let's stick with this building. All right, motion to adjourn,
So move.
second.
Second.
Greg,
By Greg.
Yes.
Catherine,
She left. She had to leave.
just going, Ken,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
and myself, yes.
Who was the second, Asa?